Hi, my name is Caitlin Witzel, and I worked with Jamie Claiborne to research a IT3 technology tool that we thought would help benefit the classroom. We looked into the website Flocabulary, and we looked at how we could use Flocabulary to help better engage students when it came to learning vocabulary about different subjects to do in language arts. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through different features of vocabulary and how you could use it to enhance vocabulary acquisition in the classroom, and also a different way to go over and show students vocabulary in multiple ways. Flocabulary is a website created by Nearpod that's supposed to get students more engaged in learning vocabulary about all sorts of different subjects. They have language arts, math, science, social studies, and life skills, but today we're just going to be looking at language arts. The program itself, if your school pays for it as a district, then you would have access to it through, Eduphoria or whatever tools you use to access apps. For teachers who want to use this but their school doesn't use it, they give you an initial 30-day free trial. So if you wanted to sign up just to look to see what they had, to see if it would fit with your curriculum and be worth it, you can do that for 30 days. And then every month after that costs around $12. So, and it's not too expensive, at least for all the stuff that you get from it. I think that it's great. You just register with an email, so it's really easy to get set up to start. You can also create a class login where you can assign certain projects and tools to your students. You automatically get a classroom password that you can share with your students. I believe you can create a QR code as well, but you usually just use this shared username, like right here. Mine's Witzel4847, and then your students can log in. There's not a way to track if your student has completed the lessons, but if you do use a program like Google Classroom, you can simply have students take a screenshot of their computer to show that they finished the assigned lessons, and then they can submit that through a secondary platform like Google Classroom to show completion. It also has the standards and alignments here that you can view. You can go through and you can make sure that it aligns with the curriculum you are teaching. If you have a specific thing you want to search, you can search it here in the toolbar, but we're going to go ahead and click on language arts. So when you click on language arts, it's going to bring you to this page right here. So you can go through it and you can see they have tons of different vocabulary sections for different things that you could be teaching in language arts. Vocabulary to do with fables, vowels, rhyme, fairy tales, any sort of thing that you could think of. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at the long and short vowels. So if I was in grades K to 2, I could click long and short vowels, and like I said, you could use this to add to your classroom if you had a classroom set up, and then you could assign it to students. So every single one of these units is the same. They have the same key features and they have the same tool sets no matter the grade level. It just changes the content. So everyone starts off with a video. The video is always set to some sort of original rap. So it continues to show different vocabulary words to do with vowels, and each one of them is an original song. There's also an option to make it a discussion. So if I make it a discussion and I hit play, each time this video gets to one of these highlighted bulbs here, it's going to have a question for the students. So if we listen to the whole thing and then we get to this stopping point, it's going to ask, does why act like a vowel in the word my, why or why not? And then you can ask the students, and based on the lyrics they just heard, it'll correspond with the questions. And then once you have it, you can hit resume and it'll play the video's audio, or you can just hit next and you can go to the next one. So you could use this multiple days in the classroom. First show the video and answer the questions with the video, and then if you were running out of time one day, you could just do the questions. Once that is done, you have the option to do vocab cards as well. They just present the vocabulary. So if I click on the card, we have alphabet. And it also gives you two really cool options. So if you have a smart board, you could have students look at the card and then you could have them write with this word. You could use your own words to do this and you have the students practice typing. and then you can either save it so that we have the student made definition for later, or you could do a new one every day. Or you can do draw, and then students could draw a picture that describes the alphabet. Once again, you can save it, or you could have a new one every day. And it has this with all of the different vocab words that have to do with the song we watched on long and short vowels. There's also a vocabulary game that you could play as a class, or let the students play on their own through their Chromebooks. Um, what you do is you hit start and we're going to build a beat. So each time I answer a question correctly, a new instrument is going to be added to the song that we just heard. And the more you get right, the better instruments you have and the more instruments you have. So we could have a cymbal, we could have a piano, we could have drums, and would keep going on. And we could practice this as a group or alone. Then every single one of them also has a read and response. So the number of questions does depend on the grade level, but you would read this with your students and then they could say which of these words does not include a vowel, and they can go through here and select. And like I said, it doesn't record the answer for the students when you assign it, but you have them take a screenshot of their results when they're done. And then there's also a quiz that students do the same thing, and like I said, you could have them take a screenshot and then upload it when they're done. Now, my favorite part of this of vocabulary is the long and short vowel for every single one of them of the lyric lab. So every time you do a lyric lab or when a student logs in, it'll walk you through how to use it. It's already walked me through, but you can hit show steps if you need to. So step one would be to think of a fact or detail about long and short vowels. Write that fact or detail. So you could write the fact that, let's say, A is a vowel. Then you're going to say get rhymes. So it gives you a bunch of rhymes over here so that you can start creating a rap about the vocabulary words. It also gives you the vocabulary words for the unit over here, so you could require students to make sure that they use all of these vocabulary words in their rap, and it gives them a cool way to interact with this. After they finish their rap, so here's our things here. So we can say A is a vowel. Um, A is a vowel. You could say, um, you know, A is a vowel. I have an A on my towel. And then you would hit next and you would have to write another fact. And this would continue. It usually asks you to make at least 4 lines, but it doesn't have to be. And then you can choose a beat and a song, and then you can practice singing your rap to your song. I think it's a really cool way to help students interact with vocabulary in a more meaningful way that kind of goes along with current pop culture and music beats. And like I said, you can use it for almost anything you can think of, not only in language arts, but other areas as well.